Ahmed Jawaad, and welcome back to the O-level chemistry classes of a lesson a day. In today's class, we are going to learn the reactivity series. So without any further ado, let us jump into the lesson. Today's topic of discussion, the reactivity series. Now, what is a reactivity series? A reactivity series is a series of metals which is arranged in terms of the descending order of the reactivities, which means that the metals which are at the top of the reactivity series are the most reactive, while the metals which are at the bottom of this reactivity series are the least reactive. This series is also known as activity series and is one of the most important tables or series in chemistry. Now, as you can already notice that there are two nonmetals, the odd ones out in this series of metals, carbon and hydrogen. So these two nonmetals are placed in the reactivity series in order to compare the reactivity of these metals. So the metals which are above these two nonmetals are more reactive than the two nonmetals, while the ones that are below it are less reactive than these. Now, as you can see that I have also included a phrase at the left side of the slide. That is because we need to memorize the reactivity series in order to ace O-level chemistry and in order to learn, and we cannot memorize the metals like this with like potassium, sodium, calcium. It's very monotonous and it's boring. That's why I've included this. Please stop calling me a careless zebra. Instead, try learning how copper saves gold. So as you can see that the phrase has initials, the words of the phrase has initials which are exactly matched with the metals or the elements in the reactivity series. So with the help of these words of the phrase, we can easily memorize and remember the reactivity series. Now, coming to some of the most important points that we need to remember from this reactivity series. So as you already know that the metals in a reactivity series are arranged in terms of the reactivity and the readiness that they take part in chemical reactions with. So everything above hydrogen, so all the metals above hydrogen can displace hydrogen from its acid. For example, potassium plus hydrochloric acid, which is HCl. The result of this reaction will be potassium chloride and hydrogen. As you can see, as potassium is above hydrogen in the reactivity series, it has completely displaced hydrogen from its acid and has formed an entirely different compound, potassium chloride, and the hydrogen is now alone. And the metals that are above are carbon, their oxides can be reduced by carbon. And the most reactive metals like potassium, sodium, calcium, they react with cold water as they're the most reactive. And the metals which are a bit below it, like magnesium, aluminium, they react very, very slowly with cold water, or sometimes they just do not react at all. And that's why they are then reacted with steam, which is a gas, which helps them react a bit quicker. And the metals which are at the bottom of the reactivity series, they just do not react at all. They're unreactive with both cold water and steam. So this brings us to the end of today's lesson on reactivity series. We learned what a reactivity series is, a phrase which would help you learn and remember the reactivity series, and some of the important points that we need to know from the reactivity series. In the next classes, I hope to cover some important points, some reactions, and which are related with the reactivity series. So stay tuned with the chemistry classes of a lesson a day. And I'm signing off today. This was Ahmed Jawaad from a lesson a day. Thank you so much.